I wanted to explain today a little bit more about what it means when planets go into retrograde. Okay, so this coming Wednesday, we have a very unique and rare full moon, which I'm going to probably talk about tomorrow. But next Saturday is when Mercury is back in retrograde. So I want to explain that. What does it mean when a planet is in retrograde? What it actually means is that when one planet moves past another, it puts off an optical illusion and looks as if the slower planet is going backwards as the other one passes it. So what does this mean for us? It all depends, really. So right now we have two planets in retrograde. Saturn is in retrograde. And what this means for us is that we need to let go of negative thinking right now. And it's a time to really honor yourself and do not let others pressure you. And then we also have Pluto in retrograde. Now, Pluto is in retrograde about 5 months out of each year. And the planets, not the planets, the zodiac signs that Pluto in retrograde, I keep saying Pluto in retrograde, it's really just Pluto retrograde. So this affects Gemini, Cancer, and Scorpio the most, which is hilarious to me because that's literally my sun, rising, and moon signs is Gemini, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this is going to bring us an opportunity to dive below the surface and to really connect with ourselves on a subconscious level. And Pluto is also, it gives a more subtle energy when it's in retrograde because it is so far away from the sun. So I'm getting all of this information from theplanetstoday.com. And if you go check it out, it shows you all of the planets. It's really cool where they all are, where they're all going, what it all means. There's a really lot of information on that. So that's theplanetstoday.com. So right now, Saturn and Pluto are retrograde. And then next Saturday, the 29th, we also have Mercury going in retrograde. So if you didn't know exactly what that meant before, I hope this helps you out. It's just when it's being passed by another planet and it looks as if it's going backwards. I'm really learning my birth chart right now. And apparently there were 5 planets in retrograde when I was born. So that's crazy. That's a lot. 5 planets the day that I was born. So I'm like, oh geez, I'm trying to figure out more about what that means for me. And we are working our way up to the super flower blood moon on Wednesday. I think yesterday I said that it was Thursday, but at least here for us in the United States, it is going to be Wednesday. Okay, so why is it called the flower moon? Well, every month, the almanac, remember that farmer's almanac from when you were a kid in elementary school? It chooses the names, or at least very long time ago. So the term flower, I mean, May flowers, it just kind of makes sense. Like the worm moon, I think, was in March, or was it last month? I don't know. But the term actually came up in 1798 and was added to the Farmer's Almanac. So this is, I think I saw that it was the second supermoon so far this year, but I feel like it's the third. I feel like this is the third one we had. But it is going to be the last one of the year as far as the information that I'm finding. And this is going to be the largest, or at least appear to be the largest supermoon yet. So what a supermoon is when the moon is orbiting to closer points to the Earth than it generally does. So for example, the moon is normally 240,000 miles away from the Earth. And during this full supermoon, it's going to be 222,022 miles. So that's a lot of twos. There's a lot of angel numbers there for me. I've been seeing 22 everywhere. We actually even have 22 on our Bay of Wisdom today. So that is pretty interesting. Okay, what else do we have? Angels are definitely reaching out to me today. I mean, that's a crazy number to have for the miles between Earth and the moon. Okay, so there is also a really exciting lunar eclipse happening. And what this means is when the moon passes through the Earth's shadow and it causes it to darken and become red. The red color comes from the sunlight filtering through the Earth's atmosphere. And a ring of light is created by all of the sunrises and sunsets happening around our planet at the same time. That is really cool. Now, I've always been interested in the moon and eclipses and all this good fun stuff, but I guess I was never really educated on exactly how it works. So if you don't really know much about what a lunar eclipse is, some things that I didn't know about a lunar eclipse that my husband actually told me, that you have to be in a certain area of the world. There's a certain spot that you're going to see it the best. Some parts of the earth, you're not going to be able to see it at all. And it's only for a certain period of time. And generally, that's a very short period of time. So this specific blood moon lunar eclipse is going to not be able to be seen on the east coast of the United States, unfortunately. But if you are in the mid-US to the west, more so to the west in the US, you can get a really good view of it, actually. So this is going to start, it's going to be 5 hours long, but there's only going to be a 14-minute window where this moon is this rusty red color picking up from all the sunrises and sunsets of the earth. So at 4:47 a.m., the eclipse is going to start, but it's going to be a partial. But at 7:11 a.m., which is really cool because tomorrow might not be my birthday, but I was born, or Wednesday might not be my birthday, but I was born at 7:11 a.m. So I love that at 7:11 a.m., the lunar eclipse is going to be full. It's going to be completely full. And it's going to be at its max at 7:18 a.m. And that is when you're going to start to get that 14 minutes of rusty red color. It is going to continue until 8:52 when the partial ends again. So there is your information as far as where you can see it and what times to see it at. But if you're on the East Coast, don't fear. There are plenty of, I'm sure, YouTube lives and all kinds of different places on the internet where you can watch it in real time or watch it later whenever you want, so you can check that out. Okay, so that is our little tidbit about the moon today. Here's another astrology fun fact for you. You get two in one day. As of 3:56 p.m. this evening, the moon was in her last degree of Virgo, and she won't be in Libra until 9:35 tonight. So during this time, she is wandering all by herself with no planetary aspects to guide her. During this time, you might feel scatterbrained, and you might even be feeling some major brain fog. This transition is called VC, or the void of course moon, a period of time before the moon moves into a new sign and doesn't form any significant meetups with any other planets. This is not a time to make plans, and really just a time of introspection, rest, and recuperation. This happens more often than we think, and we probably try to blame it on Mercury retrograde, but it's not always the case. So until 9 o'clock tonight, don't make any decisions and just take it easy. Be sure to follow me for more fun astrology facts. And next time you see VC on a calendar, you'll know what it means. For today's message, because I have some really interesting astrology information, and I'm kind of going to call it like astrology for dummies, because it's like that for me too. That's exactly how I feel. And as much as I love sharing it with you guys, I'm learning that no matter how much I read or watch, the information really sticks with me so much better when I share it with you guys like this. So I know that I said the other day that you can really listen while you go about your day, but for a minute, I do have some stuff that I drew to go over with you guys to help better understand what everything means. So yesterday we talked about what a lunar eclipse means and how it happens and where to see it. Excuse me. And this morning we're going to talk about the moon in Sagittarius. Tomorrow is the super flower blood full moon in Sagittarius. This is going to be extremely powerful. But how does the moon get in Sagittarius? What exactly does that mean? And what does it mean for us, the fact that it's in Sagittarius as opposed to anywhere else? Well, let's get into it. First, I wanted to say real quick that far to the west of Mississippi, I would definitely get out your binoculars or your telescope to check out this eclipse tomorrow. Also, Australia and New Zealand are going to get a full view of this eclipse. So if you're in any of these locations tomorrow morning around 7:11 a.m., get outside and check it out. I'm super jealous. I'm in Mississippi, so I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to see. But also, eclipses reveal what's been concealed. So this is adding already to our super powerful, super full moon that we have. This is our last full moon in the spring of this year. And real quick, where I'm getting my information is from astrostyle.com, earthsky.com, and astrologytoday.com. Okay, so here is my little map that I did wicked super quick, and as you can see, I made a mistake. So we're just going to go with it. But this is an example of what the Earth looks like right now as it's sandwiched between the moon and the sun. And here are our zodiac signs. Now, this is exactly how your birth chart would be set up if you look at it, and it has all these lines in it. So each of these zodiac signs is represented by their constellation. And I knew that, but I'm kind of relearning it again as I go through everything. We know that the sun rotates. I think it was Galileo who actually discovered that. But how do we get our zodiac signs? So as the Earth orbits the sun appears to pass in front of different constellations. The sun appears to move against the background stars, and that is how we get our sun sign. Now, the Earth takes 365 days, right, to completely go around the sun, which makes it so the sun is illuminating on each zodiac sign for approximately 28 days. Now, the moon only takes about 28 days to get all the way around all of the zodiac signs, spending about 2 days in each sign. Like, we just left Scorpio, and actually today night from 5:20 p.m. Is when the moon leaves Scorpio. And then from 5:20 until 10:39 p.m., we're in VC again. We're in that void period again. So tonight, you're probably going to feel a little bit foggy, have that brain fog. Don't make any major decisions and just kind of chill out if you can. Now, then at 10:39 tonight, the moon is fully in Sagittarius, getting us ready for this, this amazing, powerful full moon that we're going to have tomorrow. Okay, so now we see that the signs, our zodiac signs, are derived from the constellations that are marking out the path on which the sun appears to travel over the course of a year. And another interesting fact is that astronomy and astrology have a lot in common and do have some similarities, but they're actually entirely different systems. And it's really neat because as I'm getting more and more into my astrology, my husband, it's just happening. It's like meant to be. He's always been interested in space, but just this last week specifically, he's been more into the astronomy. He's been watching more space stuff. So he's teaching me the specifics about planets and rocket shuttles and the universe, excuse me, and I'm teaching him more about astrology and how it all fits together. So between the two of us, we're really covering like the entire universe, and I absolutely love it. Which leads me to tell you this next piece. So for any astronauts who would be on the moon during this lunar eclipse, what would that look like to them? Because for us, we get to see the red ring of all the sunrises and sunsets on the entire Earth on the moon. So it causes it to have a red ring all the way around the moon. But if you're on the moon, what it looks like is the Earth is actually blocking the sun. So they get to see, if they were there, an extremely bright red ring around the earth, which causes the earth to look like it's glowing, like the ground is red. But this is not a time where they can actually be on the moon, because where the earth is fully blocking the sun, it actually makes the moon freezing. Like they even have to take equipment, and this was something that they had to learn over time. When was a good time to travel to the moon and back, and it's definitely not during a total lunar eclipse. A spacecraft in orbit can actually freeze during this time. Okay, here's some more interesting information. At least it's interesting to me, so you're going to hear it. Over the course of a year, the sun appears to be in front of or in different constellations. We already just discussed that. But 2,000 years ago, the sun was sitting almost halfway between Gemini and Cancer. And right now, as of this year's June solstice, the sun will be sitting between Gemini and Taurus. Now, it took 2,000 years for that to happen. And then in the year 4000 or 4609, I don't even know how I would say that, the June solstice point will pass out of the constellation Taurus and into Aries in another 2,000 years. So that's really cool, I thought. Believe it or not, there are actually 13 constellations in the sun's path. There is an extra one that is not listed. It's called, all right, bear with me here, Ophiuchus? We'll call it Ophi. So the 13 constellation Ophi, it's the serpent bearer, and it sits right between Sagittarius and Scorpio. So this is actually right where our moon is leaving right now. It's actually passing this 13th constellation. Also a total polarity happening right now where the moon is in Sagittarius. It's going to be in opposition of Gemini. So if someone is born, well, not right now, but tomorrow or later this evening, when that moon fully gets into Sagittarius, they may actually have internal struggles in their life between their needs and their wants. And this is with the sun in opposition of the moon and that complete polarity in the signs right there. Okay, so back to our main point. What does the full moon in Sagittarius actually mean? So it's going to affect all of us, period. This super full moon is extremely powerful, and it's going to affect anybody, period. And it's actually going to help us process truths that are hidden in the shadows. And these truths are going to be revealed not just over the night of the full moon, but over the course of the next 2 to 4 weeks. This is going to be a time to step out of your comfort zone, urging you to let go and to be free. It's going to awaken you to things that you've been missing out on. This is a time of illumination. Secrets are going to be revealed, and you may be stuck with new and exciting ideas. The energy is going to be high and moods are going to be tense. And this is over the next couple weeks. So how do I know this? Like, I always wonder that. How do astrologers get horoscopes? How do we know this? So Sagittarius, that is someone who is extroverted, optimistic. They're funny and they're generous. And at the same time, they are of the 9th house, the 9th astrological house, with the phrase, I explore. So this also relates to higher education, to law and philosophy and religion, and travel is really highlighted during this time. So this is going to affect everybody, of course, in that sign of Sagittarius. We're all going to, these qualities are going to come out in characteristics in all of us. But of course, if your sun sign or your moon sign is Sagittarius, this is going to be highlighted for you. This is going to be even more powerful for you. And then again, since the moon is in opposition of Gemini, for someone like me who is a Gemini, this is going to be extremely powerful for me and other Geminis, but in a different sense, because people that are born in the opposite sign of Gemini have to be really cautious during this time. So there's an extreme polarity going on there. So let's go over it again. Sagittarius is known for being an explorer. So as well as disliking boundaries and commitment, Be patient while managing under this moon, and remember that your feelings ebb and flow, and don't commit to something that may feel oppressive at the moment. And the example here is between over the next 2 to 4 weeks, you might start finding that you really don't like your job. Like, all of these feelings are going to come up, and these oppressive feelings. Do not quit your job or make big hasty decisions over this period of time, over this moon. Also, travel is highlighted because, Sagittarius, they're explorers. They are, travel is really highlighted here. They can't stay in one place for long. So this is a good time for activities, or for just getting out and exploring. So also, earth signs are going to be affected the most. This is Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. So they love order, and they're probably going to struggle with the Sagittarius dislike of responsibility. And this is going to be frustrating for these earth signs. Excuse me. Especially for Taurus, who is not a fan of change. So Leo and Libra also have a difficult time with change. So that is going to be highlighted for them. Over the next few weeks, it's going to be a great time to either teach or to study. And look at me right here, already teaching. So it's already starting for me. And this is also a favorable time to stop smoking. So that is also really highlighted during this time. My husband and I quit about 5, almost 6 months ago now in December, and it's the best decision that we've ever made. So I would definitely consider, if this is something that you're interested in really getting rid of during this full moon, release those feelings to need to smoke. Today, while this energy is building, I would really suggest writing down your releases right now. What is it in your life that you need to let go of? Any patterns? I know we do this every month. We do it all the time. But right now, this is a really strong time to get these out, to dig deeper, and to figure out what it is that you need to let go of so you can let the new in. And if you write them down today, then we can release them tomorrow night into this incredibly powerful, super full blood moon. It's just awesome. I am just about finished now. So at 9:13 p.m. tomorrow night, the full moon is going to be at its peak and at its fullest point. And I know I'm always giving you all of these times. And even though I am Central Standard Time where I am, I'm pretty sure that all of these times that I give you are Eastern Standard Time. So if you're interested in any of the information I tell you, I would go ahead and look it up and see what that time specifically means for you. And also, I want to throw out there, I'm really new at this. I'm really new at what I'm learning and what I'm sharing. So if you find that I'm saying something incorrectly, just go ahead and kindly correct me and leave a comment. I would absolutely love that. I love constructive criticism. So let's go on and move into our daily oracle message. Today we have oracle card number 43 of the Goddess Power Oracle deck. And this is Persephone, the goddess of experience. And I just absolutely love saying that. Persephone, Persephone. I just love that name. As you can tell, I'm feeling so much better. I'm right in my element now. And just sharing this with you guys every morning is so exciting for me. Okay, so we have her empowerment message. Sometimes not knowing is a great gift. Right now, the Greek goddess Persephone invites you in a state of open-hearted learning. And didn't we just talk about that? How this would be a great time to teach or to study? Discernment comes with experience. And at this moment, it is okay to admit that you don't know or fully understand what is in front of you. I think that's really important because sometimes we have a really hard time admitting that we're wrong or that we don't know something because we have this innate feeling to always want to be right or need to be right. And right now, Spirit is saying that it's really okay to admit that we don't know. So be curious and teachable. Isn't that amazing? It literally coincides with what we're going through right now. The goddess Persephone will be with you to ensure that you will not fall prey to unconscious commitments and dangerous alliances, just as her own naivety caused her to strike a terrible deal with the god of the underworld. And I love that because I just love goddesses in mythology. I love it. So, with that being said, every experience has value. No matter what choice you make right now, the consequence will have a lasting effect as you integrate your lessons and travel the road of destiny. And what did we say? That even if you wanted to quit your job, or like all of these feelings were going to come up that would make you really not want to do certain things, but now is not a time to make big hasty decisions because we are going to have to face those consequences, right? Okay, and then we have number 15, the marjoram. I can't say anything, and I am a writer. I don't get it. Okay, but we have the fire herbs of happiness. So this is a fire herb, and Sagittarius is a fire sign. So we got a lot of fire going on. I also just found out that I have a grand fire trine in my birth chart, which is super rare. I think I already mentioned this, but I'm excited. I need to learn more about it. So new successes, relationships, and even beginnings are indicated. Can you do something differently to move an outcome more in line with your desires? Marjoram indicates celebrations, excitements, holidays, good news, and physical radiance. Freedom that was once out of reach might now be attainable in freedom. Sagittarius is a free sign. They're explorers. They're freedom is literally like one of the top characteristics of Sagittarius. So be careful of overindulgence and overspending. That's me. And being too free with information that may be better kept quiet for now, right? Over the next 2-4 weeks until we really get all of our thoughts and feelings, our conscious and unconscious, subconscious sorted out. It's really a time that we keep information to ourselves and on the down low right now until we get it all sorted out. Okay, so I'm finally finished. If you made it to the end, that's awesome. Thank you so much for listening. It means so much to me. And if you found this something that you think that somebody you know would want to listen to themselves, I would love it if you wanted to share it, if you wanted to save it, if you wanted to like it. I hope you all have a super awesome Tuesday. Get ready for this moon coming. It's going to be a good one. Love, light, and blessings, Spirit fam. Bye.